Expansion of democracy, 17th chapter. Look at the figure 17.1. What do you see in the figure 17.1? It is a figure, one lady standing with a placard, right? It is a placard. Look at what is there in the placard. It says the people united will never be defeated. What is the meaning of these lines? If you look at that placard, it is a punch with 5 fingers. 5 fingers resemble here all the people. Individually, people cannot do anything. 5 fingers cannot stand strong separately. When these 5 fingers united, it becomes a strong punch. So, how the punch is powerful? When people united, they will not be defeated. They will never, at any cost, people united will never be defeated. It shows the power of the people who are united. So the figure shows all the people are united and showing protest against their suppression, against suppression on them. So here we see how the democratic revolutions have succeeded and established democratic form of government. Here in all the nations, still people are trying to establish a government which work according to the wishes and requirements of the people, where all the people able to take part freely and fully, and where there is fine, respectable for all kinds of people. Such a government they want to establish. So, all over the world, people are still striving to have such a government where they can find respect for all kinds of people, and where they can take part freely and fully, and such a government which fulfills their wishes and requirements. So let us see two examples on democratic revolutions which occurred in the recent times. One is at Libya, another one at Myanmar. So let's look into the democratic revolutions of these two nations. First, we will look into the Libya. Which one? Libya. Libya is one African country. It is located in a north part of Africa. Where it is? North part of Africa. Understand? It is a poor nation. It was a colony of Italy. For a long time, Libya was under the control of Italy. These people, Libyans, they have raised an independent struggle. Libya is a poor nation in North Africa. It was colonized by the Italy for a long time, and after long struggle, it got independence in 1951 from the clutches of Italy. After becoming independent, Italy transferred the power of Libya to King Idris. King Idris, he was the ruler of the Libya. He ruled Libya with a few rich and powerful families. It is similar to Jamindars, how we had seen Jamindars who were very powerful in our locality in what to call ancient time, sorry, in the medieval period. Here in Libya too, there the king Idris, he ruled this nation with the help of some few rich people who were powerful families. In Libya, we find different tribes. There are many different tribes living in Libya depending on agriculture and animal rearing, that is, animal husbandry, which is in the desert. They are the two important livelihoods of most of the people belonging to different tribes. And these tribes were dominated by their traditional tribal chiefs. In every tribe, there was one head who controlled and dominated the tribe, and he was called a tribal chief. In 1959, a change has started in Libya. In 1959, there vast petroleum reserves were identified in Libya, which were not at all exploited till then. So there were vast reserves of petroleum were identified in Libya. After that, by selling the petroleum of Libya, lot of wealth they enjoyed. Lot of wealth poured into the country from the sale of petroleum oil, and this lot of wealth enjoyed by king and some powerful families. The wealth earned by the sale of petroleum was enjoyed by the king and few powerful families. At this time, we see a new wave of nationalism started in Northern Africa. In most of the Northern African countries, young people they wanted to see modern nation in Libya. Understand? That means the people of North African countries, they wanted to make their nations as modern nations. They wanted that the interest of the nation should be enjoyed and used for welfare of the people. That means the colonial powers were enjoying the wealth of the Libya. So here the Libyans, they wanted that their nation should not be subordinate or subservient in the sense subordinate to the interest of the colonial powers. The resources, petroleum, sale of petroleum also benefiting to the colonial powers. The petroleum reserves are available in Libya. It should be used for welfare of the Libyans. But the profit earned by selling the petroleum is cornered and enjoyed by the colonial powers, and then after the king Idris and very powerful rich families. So the profit of selling the petroleum is not reaching to the common people who are in that nation, right? The wealth of the nation, that is the petroleum, should be used for the development of the people of that nation. But what happened here? It is enjoyed by the King Idris and powerful rich families. Along with this, there were some kind of a ill treatment in the nation. That is, in Libya too, there was a domination of men on women. Women were not given equality with men. So the Libyans, the young Libyans, they wanted to bring reforms to end oppression of women. Women were suppressed here, and there were constant wars among different tribes. There was no unity among different tribes. These all different tribes tried to establish domination on other tribes. So they were at constant wars. Who were at constant wars? That is, different tribals. It means Libya consisted of different ethnicities, different tribes. Okay. And the sale of petroleum, the wealth which have come from the sale of petroleum, want to be distributed among all the people equally. That is also one of demands, one of the reforms of the young Libyans. The young Libyans wanted to establish unity among different tribes and peace to avoid constant wars. They also wanted to ensure that new wealth, what is that? New wealth which they got by selling the petroleum should be distributed more equitably to all the people. So many of the people in Libya inspired by these reforms. What are those reforms? One is to end oppression of women. Second is to end the constant wars among different tribes. Third is that the wealth of the petroleum should be equally distributed to all the people. And they wanted to bring unity also. So these are the reforms they wanted to bring in Libya. Understand? So many of the people inspired by these ideas. When it has come to the year 1969, in the year 1969, one leader, his name was Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi. He, with his group, he had a group consisting of 70 young army officers. They had controlled the kingdom of Libya, overthrowing the rule of King Idris I. So, with a group of 70 young army officers, Muammar Gaddafi succeeded overthrowing the King Idris rule. So King Idris I left the country as he escaped from the Libya. Monarchy was abolished in Libya, which was established by King Idris I. That was completed. Then after there, Muammar Gaddafi declared Libya as a socialist Libyan Arab Republic. Monarchy was ended. Libya turned to socialist Libyan Arab Republic. And the movement started here to overthrow the king's Idris rule was called Free Officers Movement. This 70 young army officers who started a movement to end monarchy, they themselves called that free officers movement. So this free officer movement with the leadership of Muammar Gaddafi succeeded in establishing socialist Libyan Arab Republic, and this takeover supported by the army. Army supported the Muammar Gaddafi, and this movement carried out under the leadership of a revolutionary command council. Which council? A revolutionary command council. In short, it is called RCC. This RCC consisted of 12 members relating to army. So here the free officers movement carried by RCC, in which 12 army members were there. This new leadership wanted to develop Libya as a modern state where equality is given to all, and they wanted to follow the religion of a majority people, that is Islam. Majority of the people following Islam. So they wanted to convert Libya as a Islamic state, which is a religion followed by majority of the people. And they wanted to bring equality in the modern Libya, that what we call egalitarian country. egalitarian in the sense it is equality. They wanted to give more equitable to all different tribes under this new government, under this new what to call uh, nation, which was called Socialist Libyan Arab Republic. So here, as we studied above, there the Libyan society. Now coming to the point how the Libyans have succeeded in overthrowing this monarchy. So here now how the Libyan society is there. Okay. Libyan society was a tribal society. There were many different tribes, right? For every tribe, there was one tribal chief. Okay, that means we can say that it is a rural community. Okay, there many tribes, different tribes were leading their life under the supervision of tribal chiefs. Instead, people in each tribe, they were very honor to their tribe and welfare of all the people. See, people were more concerned about their own tribe and its honor. It means in every tribe we find people have given lot of importance to their tribe, and they felt it is the honor of their tribe respecting to their tribe. They did not think welfare of all people. Every tribe preferred to honor their tribe than the welfare of all people. And most of the people in all these tribes were leading a nomadic life. What is meant by nomadic life? Moving from one place to another place. Okay, that is called nomadic, in search of food. Okay, as the livelihood appears in other part of the Libya, then they migrate from one place to another place. So most of the people of all different tribes are poor and nomadic one, and they were animal herders. That means their livelihood is cattle, that is rearing the cattle, and all these were illiterates. It means uneducated. Literacy levels are very, very less in Libya. Understand? In all the tribes of Libya, their women were confined to Parda system. In Islam, we see that women are not allowed without a velvet dress, that what you call Parda. So most of the women in Libya were under Parda system. They were not allowed to take part in public activities. That means it is that the work of the men, public activities are related to the men. Women are not allowed. Women were confined to home. So this was the domination of men and women. So women were suppressed. They did not enjoy equality along with men. Understand? So there they wanted to bring several reforms in the Libya, which was what to call Arab Republic, Socialist Libyan Arab Republic. Understand? So this new regime, that means the new rule set by Muammar Gaddafi, introduced several reforms that led to rapid growth of Libya. Understand? So, what are the reforms carried by the new regime? New regime in the sense, new rule which started after the end of monarchy. Okay. So, under several reforms, one is nationalization of oil resources. What is the first one? Nationalization of oil resources. Oil resources they want to nationalize. What is mean by nationalize? Instead of keeping under private companies, ownership of every oil well will be with the nation. That is called nationalization. Second is a program for extension of cultivation. There are vast lands, those are not under cultivation due to lack of irrigation. So, this new government wanted to expand cultivable land by supplying irrigation, okay, to the poor workers. This will end nomadism. Many of the people migrating from one place to another place in search of livelihood. Okay, if constant livelihood is given in the locality, then that would end nomadism. So to end nomadism, there the new regime wanted to expand cultivable land by supplying irrigation to the what to call poor people who were doing agriculture in their locality. Understand? And here another thing is that they wanted to expand education to all. Okay, as most of the people are illiterate people cannot think in a right way. Educated people will work for the right one. So they wanted to transform their society from illiterate society to literate one. So for that, another reform introduced that free universal education for all, including women. That means men and women will be given free education to increase the literacy rate. Okay, and free medical care for all to keep good health of the people. Then another one is distribution of a share of oil profits among all citizens. All the citizens have to enjoy the profit which they got by selling the petroleum. For that, nationalization of oil resources is essential. Okay, and another one, they also wanted to develop highly subsidized housing scheme like double bedroom. How our KCR started, there they wanted to provide housing to the poor people. Understand? So all these reforms were carried by the new regime which started by Muammar Gaddafi instant, who taken over the rule of the Libya, overthrowing the monarchy with RCC instant. So here in all these reforms, one major reform was ensuring freedom and equal status to women. This is the most important reform they wanted to ensure for all the people. That is freedom and equal status to women. Here, women now allowed to have property and run the business, and they were allowed to take up jobs in the government in which they are interested. So with all these reforms, we see that Libya was able to achieve high levels of social welfare in whole African continent. With these reforms introduced here helped the Libya to achieve highest level of literacy rate. The literacy rate in Libya, what to call, increased to a great one. That what to call, it is increased to 90 percentage. The literacy rate in Libya increased to what to call, highest rate, that is 90 percentage of the literacy level it is achieved. Understand? Look at here. This is the literacy rate, both men and women. Okay, increased to 90 percentage today. As most of the people are literate, they also taken care of their health, and also we see here the free medical care increased the average life expectancy. What is my average life expectancy? It is the lifespan, an average of every individual was 50 years, that increased to 77 years. Understand? So this was the progress they achieved by the several reforms introduced, what to call, in Libya. Understand? And here one important problem was there in Libya, that was very difficult to encourage bringing democratic participation of all people in Libya. Understand? There were different tribal people. That means multi, what to call, tribal people were multi ethnicities, multi ethnicity, ethnic people were living. So every tribe was confined to its tribe only. They were not at all joining with another tribal people, right? So it was very difficult to bring what to call, all the people participation in democratic system. Okay, so why it was difficult? Because there was a tribalism. Tribalism means it is the people of Libya are tribes. Okay, and nomadism, they were leading a nomadic life, and illiteracy was there before to the this takeover, and restrictions on women. These were what to call, obstacles to encourage what to call, the people to take democratic participation. Understand? So this was a situation we see in Libya. So the new Libyan leadership try to encourage the participation of common people in the public activities by creating people councils. That means some organizations were created with the peoples and elected a people's assembly in the center. So here, this new government, Libyan government, encouraged participation of all the common people with a lot of odd efforts in the public meetings, and created a people councils, that is people organizations which are established, and elected a people's assembly at the center. That means the parliament was established at the center. Okay, so